Hey guys, quick reminder, you can get a Scotian Canadian shirt for just 35 bucks. Email that to scotiancanadian@gmail.com or PayPal, and 100% of profits are going to the Downey and Wenjack Fund, which mission is to reconcile the relationships between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people in this country. We need to stand with First Nations peoples as they heal. Mean a lot to me for you guys to help me support that. And $3 per shirt. I'm also donating my own money on top of that as well. Cheers, guys. Appreciate the support.
Ugh. Talk about mixed emotions after a hockey game. Montreal dominates and they lose in probably the most frustrating fashion possible. But I'm not going to lose hope because they did something very important last night. Not only did they show that they can play with Tampa, the defending champions, the best team in this league, they showed that they could take it to them. Montreal dominates the second and third period, but find a way to lose. And one of the goals is a seeing eye shot from the point. Price didn't, had no chance on it, too much traffic. And the other one, 0.3 seconds left in the second period, and they take the lead. That ends up being the game winner. And they get the insurance as well. Tampa Bay wins this one 3-1 to take a convincing 2-0 series lead against the Montreal Canadiens in the Cup final. We have Game 3 Friday night. Montreal, the second must-win game of this series for them. Brutal, man, how this all played out. And, some storylines after it, too. We see Lehkonen go down, and we'll get into that once we go through this game here. Now we're going to be looking at likely changing up this lineup. And I think not only that, I think we should look at changing it in a couple different ways here. Despite the good performance, I think there are a couple things. We got some weapons sitting on the pine that could really make a difference here. But let's get into this game. First period for about the first 10 minutes, even effort, good start from both teams. Chances on either ends of the ice. Both goalies needing to stand strong. Good physical game from both sides, but Montreal specifically challenging Kucherov, getting in his space. Any chance they could to lay the body on him, they were, and they had him making mistakes due to it. One of them led to a breakaway, and we not only saw that, but we saw a good chance from Suzuki as well early in this game, but Vasilevsky with the big stop. Now, despite this and Montreal's good start, they find themselves on the penalty kill. Couple different penalties, but luckily that PK stands strong and turns the momentum in the side of the Habs. And for the rest of this period, they dominated, end up outshooting Tampa in this period. And then towards the end, we see Galley get a big hit on Mikhail Sergachev, which you love to see. That's been a storyline and a trend throughout the first couple games of series. Montreal really trying to wear down their opponent, and it continued throughout the rest of this game. Another very strong physical game from both teams, but I love the way Montreal is really challenging the Tampa Bay top six. We go into the second period, and Montreal carries the momentum into it. Great start to this period. Again, the Habs owning the ozone on numerous different sequences 5-on-5, and that continued throughout the rest of this game. Just really strong effort from the boys. They did a good job limiting Tampa Bay's time and space with the puck, taking those pucks away, gaining the ozone, and then cycling it around until their chances opened up. The fourth line made a big difference as well. Armia, the key there, getting him back, his puck protection, his forecheck, his play on the PK. So it's good to get him back. But 5-6 minutes in, Tampa Bay scores the first goal. And you'd think this would deflate Montreal, but they responded after. But this goal specifically, tons of traffic, just a point shot, didn't touch anything, and it beats Price under the arm. And it's 1-0 Tampa Bay, assisted by Johnson and Ruda. But like I said, that didn't take the wind out of Montreal's sails. They continue to push after this goal, and we see them get the response. This one on the power play, they're on the man advantage. Nick Suzuki working the power play really, really well, setting up a couple different 1T options. Gustafsson fans on the shot. He throws a nice shot pass towards Toffoli, who's in front of the net alone. He can't bury it. Vasilevsky with the big save. But then Suzuki finds himself at the point again, working the power play. He just throws a backhander towards the net. I think Vass was expecting another one-time play. Kind of threw him off. A rare moment where Vass loses his focus, and this one beats him 5-hole. Definitely wanted that back. It's 1-1 at this point. And then we see Vasilevsky put on an absolute show while the Habs continue to dominate this period after tying up this game. Anderson comes in on a breakaway, gets a really strong chance. Vasilevsky with the save. The 5-hole was open. I think Anderson just didn't place that shot where he wanted to. But then after that, the Habs draw up a really nice play in the ozone, cycling it around, get the point shot and the tip in the slot. And Vasilevsky with the toe save. Just a very strong positional save. One might call it luck, but he's at the top of his crease there, and it's just a stellar save from him. The guy does not have any holes. His ability to read plays plays and make reactionary saves is top-notch, elite. Then we see Armia go to the box on a high stick, and Habs fans weren't too happy about that, thinking it was a follow-through of a shot, because we've seen that go against us where we've gotten high sticked on the follow through of a shot, no call. But this one specifically, he had already shot it. He had already done his follow through, and then there was a slight movement, which then led to that high stick. So that was a good penalty. Luckily, Montreal kills it off, continues holding the momentum in this game. Armia comes out of the box, gets a really good look, 2-on-1, but Sergachev with some really strong defense breaking up that pass. And the replay they showed might be one of my favorite replays of this playoff defensively in terms of defensive plays, because I just love seeing teams get shut down. Hate it to be my team, but just that passing lane was wide open, and all of a sudden Sergachev closed it right off. So like I said, Montreal dominates this period. Vasilevsky keeps Tampa in it. It's 1-1. We're thinking we're going into the third tied up with a good opportunity here to tie up the series as well. But then with literally about 3 seconds left, Philip Deneau gives the puck away. McDonough steals it. This is our number one defensive forward line, as well as our number one D pair on the ice. Sherratt pinches up to try to close off that space on the blue line, but he misses. Tampa breaks through. The puck gets to Gaudreau. A beautiful fake shot pass over to Blake Coleman, who dives for it. Philip Deneau tries to get back to make the defensive play. He gets on a stick. He gets a stick on it as well, but it beats Carey Price. That just took the wind out of my sails. That was a heartbreaker. Like, I don't know what else to say, man. That was brutal. That whole second intermission was just so frustrating to sit there after knowing what we had just witnessed. The pure domination by Montreal to not get rewarded, and then for a goal with 0.3 seconds left. All Montreal had to do was get that puck up the ice and then go into the third tied. Go into the third period, and Tampa starts with this third line. That's just great coaching. John Cooper chucks them out there, the team that put you ahead late, the line that's feeling good. He puts them out there to start the third, and they immediately get another chance. Luckily, they don't score, though. Price stands tall and keeps this a one-goal game. And then Montreal dominates this third period. Again, just owning the ozone on numerous different 5-on-5 sequences. The power play looked good on a couple different chances. But they cannot bury it. And not only playing well offensively, Montreal completely shutting things down defensively. A mistake here and there. We saw Kucherov streaking on a breakaway, but Suzuki with a strong back check to break that up. Just everyone doing their jobs out there. But again, not rewarded. And then late, we see Joel Edmondson just make a terrible mistake behind the net, just trying to go D to D over to Petrie, misjudges it, and just puts it in a really bad spot. But kudos to Andre Palat for reading that and picking up on that mistake and capitalizing on it. Price not expecting that giveaway whatsoever, especially from a guy like Joel Edmondson, who literally has not made a mistake once in this entire playoff run. That's a stinger too. Tampa gets the insurance. That makes it really, really hard on Montreal. And they do their best to come back. 6-on-5, they pull the goalie and get a ton of different looks, work the puck really well. But again, Vas stands strong. We just can't do it. And it's another game where Vasilevsky only allows one goal. He finishes with a .977 save percentage, saving 42 of 43 shots. Now, at the end of this game, we did see some rough stuff, some scrums. And I love Montreal's physicality throughout this one. And we needed something to rally behind at the end of this game. So I like to see them mix it up. We saw Deneau on Sergachev, as well as Hedman sticking up for Serge, but Perry comes in there, gets a couple looks on Victor Hedman. Montreal's going to have to rally behind that and can just continue to be annoying to play against. And you know what? Montreal showed in this game, like I said, that not only can they play with Tampa, they can really take it to them. We might be down 2-0, but they've had a 2-game deficit to another really strong team in these playoffs, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we saw what happened there. You know what? After this game, I have not been more confident in this Montreal Canadiens group in my entire life. This is the best iteration of this team that I've ever seen. I'm confident that the leadership will have these guys dialed in. We also will be going back home where we get to control the matchups. We took it to Tampa Bay, despite them getting to control who they played against out there on the ice. Now it's our turn to have that advantage, and I really think with Dom Ducharme returning, that's going to make a very big difference. They clearly adjusted to Tampa Bay really well and were able to take it to them without last change. Well, we got it now, and I'm looking forward to seeing their effort in Game 3. We need a sweep at home, like what the Tampa Bay Lightning just did to us. And I've seen that numerous times in different playoff series throughout my life, that home ice advantage actually makes a very big difference. So hopefully this is one of those series where the home team takes 2, and then the home team takes 2 again. Now we are only going to have 3,500 fans. I cannot believe that Quebec denied that request by the Montreal Canadiens. At this point, it's getting ridiculous. This is the Cup final. The vast majority of our country has one shot. A very large portion has two. The crowd outside. I mean, there's no difference. It's getting ridiculous. Honestly, it's just. I don't want to get too into that, but maybe it'll end up being an advantage for Montreal. They're used to playing in buildings that don't have as many bodies in them, so maybe that'll throw off Tampa after getting comfortable playing in the United States with full rinks for the last few months. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm really looking forward to this game three. Something else we're gonna have to look out for. We're gonna have to wait and see if we see Arturi Lehkonen in game three. Bit of a greasy hit there by Mikhail Sergachev. Lek chasing a puck into the corner, clear interference by Sergachev. And we've seen the NHL take hits like this very serious. It's one of the most dangerous things you can do in hockey is push a guy into the boards like that when he's reaching for a puck. And I've seen numerous guys get suspended for plays like this. I'm kind of doubting Serge is going to get a suspension in the playoffs for something like that, but I mean, considering how Weber gets fined for the Kucherov slash, you got to think there's at least a fine here for Sergachev for this interference. But if this was regular season, that very well could be a suspension. That's a very, very dangerous play that you don't want to see in hockey at all. Now, if Lehkonen's not able to play, who comes in? Is it finally time for us to see Thomas Tatar back in this series? Lots of people calling for him to be jumping into this series regardless of the Lehkonen injury because the advanced analytics are there. He's got some serious offensive upside. We're having trouble getting that offense going against the Tampa Bay Lightning. It could be a huge boost to us, and we know he'll have chemistry with that usual line of himself, Deneau, and Gallagher. That could make a difference for us, quite honestly. Not only that, can we finally see Romanov in this series? I think, having a fresh body like that come in, I understand he's young and inexperienced, but he's a great defenseman. He's strong defensively. I think he'd take his chance seriously. When he did draw in the last, I believe it was the last series, he looked good and he had short shifts. That's all you could ask for. And I think he could make a little bit more of a difference than John Merrill out there. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a coach, but I think we got to try some different things to switch this series around in our favor. Now, some stats on the night: Montreal heavily outshoots Tampa 43-23, win the face-off battle 53-47. Deneau at 61%, Suzuki and Stahl at 60%. Montreal 1 for 3 on the power play. Thought it was kind of weird that they weren't using Caulfield. They didn't use Caulfield on the 4 and 3. I thought that was a good opportunity to allow him some time and space to snipe. They used Weber at first, but then later on we saw Caulfield take Weber's spot on the 5 on 4 power play. So at least they're using him and they're switching it up. And like I mentioned on the 4 on 3, it was Weber, but they didn't force the play to him. So I'm not as frustrated with it. It's like they used him as a decoy, as if they were going to pass to him, and then it opened up other things. So I kind of like that strategy. Montreal 3 for 3 on the PK. That's great. Great to see this penalty kill continuing to be strong against a elite level Tampa team that just is ruthless on the power play, but they couldn't get much going last night, so that was huge. Good adjustment. Tampa wins a physical battle 40-36. It was a great game. Montreal needs to continue playing this frustrating style of hockey, and fingers crossed by games 5, 6, and hopefully a game 7, this Tampa team gets just worn down. And they're the Cup champions, so I'm doubting it, but hopefully. Tampa with 14 big blocks to Montreal's 10. They're continuing to do a great job getting into the lanes. Foley, HABS most used forward at nearly 20 minutes. Sherratt, most used defenseman at 24 minutes. Nick Suzuki, 9 shots on goal. He gets up on the board with that power play goal. Fantastic game from him. He was a game changer. We need that again. He was strong on both sides of the puck. And that line in general with himself and Caulfield did a great job last night. Hedman, Tampa most used defenseman at 25-30. Sergachev right behind him with 22 minutes. He is making a very big impact for the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is tough to watch as a Montreal Canadiens fan. Yanni Gourde, most used forward, 1953, playing real strong minutes down the center of the ice. I find it interesting that Goudreau's taking the faceoffs for him. Not sure if he's banged up or what, but nonetheless, Gourde's playing strong down the middle of the ice defensively. And like I mentioned, Vass is just insane. What a game from him last night. That's about it, guys. We got a big one, a crucial one, Friday night. Game 3, must win. Let's get it done. Like I said, 7-game series for a reason. This ain't over. Ain't over.